Brothers and sisters, greetings from the White House. I wish I could be in Las Vegas with you today, but I nonetheless appreciate this opportunity to talk with you through the cyber sphere at your annual conference. Your mission, to serve and represent the working men and women of the metal trades, is near and dear to President Donald J. Trump. My mission is to help my president create great paying manufacturing jobs for the men and women of America, particularly those who work with their hands. And the long and storied history of the Metal Trades Union is one I deeply respect. My office at the White House, the Office of Trade and Manufacturing Policy, was established by executive order to send a very strong signal that the men and women of America who work in our factories and shipyards are critical to this nation's economic prosperity and national security. American workers, the best in the world, have taken our country from an agrarian string of 13 colonies to an industrial powerhouse that has put a man on the moon and reigns today as the largest economy in the world. From the construction of the Transcontinental Railroad to the world's biggest and baddest naval fleet, American workers, when given a level playing field, are without equal. President Trump's mission is to not only restore that level playing field, which has been tilted every which way but loose by mercantilist cheaters like China, it is also to actually and always put America first. We are putting America workers first by following the president's two simple rules he laid out in his inaugural speech: buy American and hire American. My office here at the White House has been the tip of the spear on three separate Buy American executive orders. As a result, we have dramatically decreased Buy American waivers issued by federal agencies that, in the past, severely weakened our manufacturing base while building up competitor nations. We expanded Buy American laws to apply to state grants as well as federal financial assistance, and we substantially increased the Buy American threshold for iron and steel projects. And I'm pleased to report the lowest percent of foreign content in taxpayer-funded projects in more than a decade. The president's steel and aluminum tariffs have likewise boosted the fortunes of America's working men and women. In testimony to the success of the Trump tariffs, I've stood on the Duluth ore dock watching tons of iron ore arrive by rail from Minnesota's Mesabi Iron Range. I have toured the good ship Edgar G. Spear that takes that ore across the Great Lakes to steel mills in places such as Wisconsin and Indiana, and I have visited once idle mills now operating at full capacity. I've also seen beautiful American steel serve as the basic building block of combat vehicles made in Lima, Ohio, and Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and the ships being built in Marinette, Wisconsin today would not even exist if not for President Trump's fine attention to detail in the defense budget. When I visit these facilities, my first thought is always this: it is simply common sense to spend American taxpayer dollars on American materials and American labor. The net effect of following the president's two simple rules is a more resilient and secure domestic supply chain that provides family-supporting wages for Americans from all walks of life. And here's what you and I both know. President Trump is the first president in a generation to take on the failed bipartisan consensus of so-called free trade, which really meant for decades the offshoring of American jobs and factories by multinational corporations seeking wage arbitrage, tax loopholes, sweatshop labor, and poor environmental standards. As President Trump said in his national security strategy, we in this administration recognize a simple truth that previous presidents dating back to Bill Clinton forgot. Economic security is national security. What this simple maxim means is that economic vitality, growth, and prosperity at home is absolutely necessary for American power and influence abroad. As President Trump has said, any nation that trades away its prosperity for security will end up losing both. I'd like to close these remarks with some very good news that will directly affect the Metal Trades Department members in Philadelphia. In just the last 60 days, a dedicated team led by the White House that includes both the Department of Defense and the Maritime Administration has worked with your union president, Jimmy Hart, and the leadership at Philly Shipyard to help transform the Philly Yard from not just a new build commercial facility, but also to a dual-use repair depot for government work. The results of these efforts, and give Jimmy Hart, MARAD, and the Navy a lot of credit, the results have been immediate. A $6 million repair job for the SS Antares, which will recall hundreds of workers. It will also be a great launching pad to the sturdier world of government ship repair. And as of today, I'm pleased to announce that the Philly Shipyard has just won another $16 million contract to repair the U.S. naval ship Pollux. This will mean hundreds more workers will be heading back to the yard. And we are working to provide cross-training opportunities so the work orders are better able to withstand the ebbs and flows of both the procurement and business cycles. So please know this, my brothers and sisters. The Secretary of the Navy, MARAD, and the Trump White House all have your backs and the back of the Philly Shipyard. And all I can say to finish is that the best is yet to come. On behalf of President Donald J. Trump here at the White House, we appreciate all you do, and we hope you have a productive conference. Godspeed.